In the 1970s, the NBA wasn't nearly as popular as it is today. Even the NBA Finals, which featured the most exciting moments of basketball, wasn't broadcasted on television. This all changed when Larry Bird, who established the golden age of the Boston Celtics, and his rival, Magic Johnson, brought sheer enthusiasm to the NBA fans. In this video, I'll be covering the life of Larry Bird, who had a tragic childhood but grew up to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
What's up guys, it's your boy Roy with my first video on the Falling with Bamba channel. Before we get started, I want to remind you guys to go check out our new Instagram account. We got a new logo, we got some nice art going for you, and so yeah, go check it out. Also, in honor of Larry's jersey number, 33, if we can get at least 3,300 likes on this video, that would be amazing. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, just make sure you leave a comment below. Alright, let's get started. 3, 2, 1, let's go!
On December 7th, 1956, Larry Joe Bird was born in the small town of West Baden Springs in southern Indiana. The valley, as locals called it, was tiny and remote. It was one of the poorest places in the entire state. As a child, Larry earned a reputation in town for being a troublemaker, constantly getting into fights with other boys. He enjoyed seeing his brothers fight, and when his brothers saw other kids bullying Larry, they would always come to help him. If they didn't, their father would whip them for not protecting young Larry. Larry and his father were best friends. They were inseparable. He followed his father everywhere, and they did everything together. But there was a darker side to Larry's father. Due to his father's traumatic experience from fighting in the Korean War, Larry would often wake up in the middle of the night to his father's screams from his nightmares. His father had difficulty maintaining steady jobs, and every now and then, he'd go out drinking. For a family as poor as the Birds, these drinking habits were a major problem. At the school gymnasium, Larry used basketball as an escape from his family troubles. It was the only thing that felt easy to him, and he was a natural-born talent, able to maneuver the ball around the court with skill. After graduating high school, Bird, who had by then become the best player in the state, was scouted by Indiana University. Everyone in the valley couldn't have been prouder. Their local hero was traveling 60 miles north to the best college team in the land. But once he arrived, he soon realized that things wouldn't work out. He was unable to afford attending the school, and after 24 days, he dropped out and returned to the valley. Back in his hometown, Larry took to working for the city, gathering trash and painting park benches to earn whatever money he could. Soon after, his parents divorced, and his father, being unable to escape his traumas and going into serious financial debt, decided to end his own life. Larry was devastated by this. Not only did he lose his father, he lost his best friend. But given his personality, Larry never spoke about this to his friends or his coaches. He never expressed any pain or sorrow to anyone. Despite being at the lowest point of his life, things started to change for Larry when a young coach named Bill Hodges from Indiana State University gave Larry a call. He was extremely persistent in trying to get Larry to continue playing and give college basketball another shot. With a promise to his mother to graduate, Larry packed his bags and headed to ISU, a school that had never been to the NCAA tournament. And he absolutely dominated. Larry, averaging 30.3 points per game, led his school with a 33-0 record and secured a spot for them at the 1979 title game for the first time in history. Even people who had never watched basketball in their entire lives came to see this exciting event. He, alongside his future lifetime rival, Magic Johnson, became the talk of college basketball and attracted national attention. They were polar opposites. One black, one white. One outgoing, one shy. Both absolutely unstoppable. And so, the final game began. As soon as the ball hit the court, Michigan set up double and triple teams to guard Larry, significantly hindering the performance of Indiana's star player. He was blocked, he missed multiple shots, it was just too much. although he was devastated, Larry knew that this would not be their final confrontation. No, it was just the beginning. Larry, who had been drafted the year prior, joined the Boston Celtics in 1979, the first year that three-pointers were introduced to the NBA. Bird's accurate outside shots were one of the Celtics' greatest assets, and his height of 6'9" allowed him to dunk whenever needed. Despite being below average in terms of athleticism, Larry had some of the highest basketball IQ and played the game like a chess match. By bringing the Celtics from 29 wins, 53 losses in the previous season to 61 wins and 21 losses, Bird was selected as the Rookie of the Year for the All-NBA First Team. Meanwhile, his rival, Magic Johnson, won the championship in his first year as a pro and was selected as the final MVP. In Larry's second year, during the 1980-81 season, the Celtics drafted power forward Kevin McHale and traded to get center Robert Parrish. Both of their presences were instrumental to Bird's success as a player. This season, the Celtics advanced to the NBA Finals facing the Houston Rockets. During the intense fourth quarter of his first game in the Finals, Bird made spectacular plays.
7 minutes left. Larry Bird follows his own shot. Oh, what a play!
With Larry's performance, the Celtics won Game 1 and finished the series 4-2, allowing Bird to become a champion in just his second year. Then, in the 1984 Finals, the peak decisive battle since his college days with Magic Johnson were finally realized. In Game 3, with one win each, Magic set a new record for the NBA Finals with 21 assists, and the Lakers trailed ahead of the Celtics 2-1. At the end of this match, Larry, who normally doesn't speak much, said to his team that they didn't have heart. Inspired by his words, the Celtics successfully fought till the end, winning Round 7, the series, and Bird's second overall win, tying with Magic. For the humiliating loss during his college days, Larry finally had his revenge. The two teams came face to face again at the 1985 Finals, but this time, the Celtics would be defeated by the Lakers due to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's major success with Magic. Now, they both had a record of 1 win and 1 loss at the Finals each. Their rivalry was as fierce as ever, but in the summer of 1985, after the Finals, Converse surprisingly asked Magic and Bird to shoot a commercial together. Magic told Bird to come to LA if he wants to shoot, but Bird replied that he'd never go to LA. Eventually, the two rivals, who had never even shaken hands before, filmed the commercial together at the house that Larry built for his mother in Indiana. During this time, they talked, they opened up to each other, and they became close friends off the court. In the 1985-86 season, the finals were between the Boston Celtics and the Houston Rockets. In Game 6, Bird sealed the deal with the game-winning 3.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Bird wants a 3 out of it. He gets it.
Bird scored 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists, a triple-double, achieving his third championship, and was again lined up with Magic. In the 1986-87 season, Bird achieved something only a handful of shooters have ever achieved, making above 50% in field goals, 40% in three-pointers, and 90% in free throws. The so-called 50-40-90. Bird, on a different level of play, declared, for fun, that he would only play and shoot with his offhand, his left, against the Blazers and scored 47 points, creating a legend. At the 1987 playoffs against the Pistons, Bird made a steal that changed the course of the entire series of the conference
They're going to give the ball to Detroit. Bird steals it. Johnson, layup, Boston, 1 second left.
He proceeded to the NBA Finals for the 4th consecutive year and had his 3rd direct confrontation with Magic Johnson. The Celtics lost the lead to the Lakers 1-2, and in round 4, they tried to return to the days of the original series by fighting well. But with Magic's amazing performance, the Lakers declared check. Then, checkmate. The Lakers won the series 4 wins to 2 losses.
Magic's just a great basketball player. He's the best I've ever seen.
However, little did Bird know that this would be the last finals he would ever play against Magic. In 1988, Bird, who who was crowned the champion of the three-point contest for the second year in a row, participated in the contest without taking off his warm-up jacket, giving his opponents a handicap. Before the contest, Larry asked his opponents a nasty question. So, who do you think will be second place today? And then...
Still gonna drop one here quickly, 14. This is a tie for the money. He
won first place at the three-point contest for the third year in a row. He was 31 years old and was in his prime as a player. But from this point onward, he continued to suffer from repeated injuries. Then, as if chasing after Larry, Magic Johnson suddenly announced in 1991 that he had contracted HIV and declared his retirement. Declaring HIV, which was unclear at the time, had the same meaning as declaring death. Bird wanted to fight Magic again at the finals and continued to play with a battered body, saying that he lost all motivation to play basketball for the first time in his life because of the sadness of losing not only his rival, but also his friend. As such, Larry put a period on his active life. Fortunately, Magic was in good health and his life was never at risk. And by Magic's invitation, Bird played as part of the American Dream team. After retiring from his active duty, Bird became head coach of the Indiana Pacers and led the team to their first NBA final in history. Then, in 1993, at Larry's retirement ceremony, cheered by Boston fans all around, Magic Johnson came to congratulate him.
To the greatest basketball player ever, but more important, a friend forever.
From overcoming a poor environment, Larry grew to become a player who completely changed the NBA. Even 100 years from now, people will continue to talk about the rivalry between Bird and Magic, and will go down as the greatest rivalry in sports history. For making the NBA as popular as it is today, thank you, Magic Johnson, and thank you, Larry Bird. Here's one of my favorite comments from our last video. That's right, Keisuke. Just like a basketball game, while timeout has ended, Ballin' with Bamba has only just begun. Thanks for your comment. Tell us below what your favorite moment was. Take it easy, and see you next time. Bye-bye.